this lesson we'll be learning how to make stars revolve around your head in AR. So without any further ado, let's get started. So firstly, what we'll do is let's add the image of the star. So now that we have imported the file, let's click on this drop down right here and click over here. Then let's just drag one of them because one of them is the star, and then if we drag it to the camera over there, you can see it's visible over here. So over here it's in the default material, so let's change that to something else. So let's create a new material. So let's click on this, let's click on here and search for material. There we go. Click on empty material. Let's click on that. Shade a color to a yellowish color. Let's go over here. Let's change it to that yellow because it looks pretty good. Drag the empty material into it. Let's name this empty material star material, and let's click over here and let's search for head painting. There it is. And let's add a scene object, an empty object, and let's drag this empty object to the head binding. And also let's drag the star to the head binding. There it is. Let's move this center to the center of the head. So let's move it right about there. Let's move the star away from the center. Change the size to 0.0585. Now the next step, what we need to do is we need to make it automatically rotate, right? So how do we do that? You need to go to the objects panel and add a tween. So what is a tween, you might be asking? It's actually a helper script. So if we search for tween and go over here, you can see there's something called tween manager, and let's add a new component. Let's add a script, and now let's click on the add script button over here, and then next it will pop up with this window. So let's select the tween and let's go to tween types and let's select tween transform and let's click OK. Now over here, if we scroll down, we need to change this move to rotate, and let's change this from to offset. So now if we make this something like 50, you can see it just rotates over there, right? So now we want to make this like loop again and again. So let's click on this editor button. Now it's still the same. Let's click on loop type and let's make it loop. So now you can see it loops like that, but it goes in like really big steps, like steep steps, right? So how do we make that like go like normally? Yeah, so for that you need to change this easing function to linear. Now you can see it just goes in a constant motion without any stopping. So after this, what we need to do is we need to add a ton of stars. One star is not enough, right? So for that, let's just click on the star and let's click Control and D. Control D. Let's add like 5 stars. So Control D, and Control D. Now next, what we need to do is we need to position these stars. So let's go to the top view by going over here and let's click on that. There we go. Okay, so now you can see we have stars rotating our head and it's really cool. You can look around like this and you can see that there's a ton of stars. Now if you want to slow them down, you can click on the center and you can just change this time to something like 0.5 and it will slow it down a bit. I think this is like the perfect one. If you want to learn more and make these really cool ARs, then subscribe to my classes.